Hey guys, so as you can see from the title, today I want to talk about the new Doordash updates that I have seen. Now, before I get into that, I want to rant a little bit. So if you don't want to hear this rant, you can go ahead and skip ahead. All right, so today is Sunday, March 7th. And I was finally able to get onto DoorDash to actually dash. Now, no, I wasn't deactivated or anything. But as you can see from this screenshot, the two main areas that I like working in has been grayed out for the past 3 Sundays, including the beginning of today. Now, the reason why this was kind of frustrating to me is because there was honestly a rare time for the map to be grayed out in those areas. They would be grayed out, like, of course, like late at night sometimes, but not from 7 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Like, they wouldn't be grayed out that long. Now, I know there will be some people that would say that's normal in my market, or I'm used to seeing that. What's the big deal? The reason why it's frustrating to me is because even in the beginning of when I first started doing DoorDash, I have always been able to, dash now. I've never been a top dasher or anything. However, those two areas would usually be, at least, that slight pinkish red. Whether one area will be grayed out, but the other one will be red, and vice versa. So it was kind of weird and frustrating to me. I started even thinking, like, do this app need updated? Like, do I have some type of contract violation? Like, is there something going on with my account? Like, what's going on? What was also, frustrating to me about this whole thing was the app was showing that there was peak pay from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. How can I get peak pay if I can't dash now? So I feel maybe, the past couple of weeks there's probably has been like a huge influx of drivers in these two areas. Now, as I said previously, for the last 3 Sundays, including today, I wasn't able to, dash now or even schedule a dash to get online onto DoorDash. But finally today at like 3:40, I was able to dash now in one of the areas that I normally dash in. So I was happy about that. So for the meantime, I had to, of course, go rely on Uber Eats. In my market, DoorDash makes the most for me, so that's kind of also frustrating. So I had to, rely on Uber Eats. I managed to make, over $100, which was a miracle. At first, I was kind of disappointed that, only thing I had to rely on was Uber Eats, but I don't know what Uber Eats been doing lately, but the payouts was actually good. Like, I'm going to show a couple of payouts that was very surprising to me. And if you see in the gray, it says that, I was expecting a certain amount, but, the final total was a lot higher. The crazier part about it was the payout that I seen that, they told me the initial I got accepted, that amount was actually lower than the one that they said, oh, this was actually the expected amount. So it's like, in my mind, I got paid like almost twice as much of what I was initially thinking. I was very, surprised about these payouts today, so I was kind of glad. In the meantime, I am trying to get back onto the Grubhub platform, trying to get, my account reactivated or something. When I contacted Grubhub, they said that, my account was temporarily put on hold. So I'm going to give that another chance, because relying on or having higher hopes on one of these apps leads to disappointment, and I've been disappointed for these last 3 Sundays. Let's get into what this video is actually about. So I noticed that there has been some new changes to the DoorDash app. Maybe it's just late for me to receive the updates. Maybe you guys have already seen these updates, so it's old to you, but it's kind of new to me. So I wanted to talk about it to anybody who actually hasn't seen it yet, or they're still trying to figure out what's going on. I'm not going to say that I know exactly what everything is, because it's still new to me, because again, today was the first time I actually was able to work finally. but I want to, want you guys to come along with me on this. So the first thing I want to talk about is scheduled orders. Now, opening the app, I was met with, a new update announcement or something, and it's basically about you're now able to claim scheduled orders. So from my understanding of it, if you've worked Instacart or Shipped, that's how I have it in my mind, that basically the orders is the customers, place orders, but they have it scheduled for another day or something, like a catering order or something, I guess. And they basically, have it set up to where you can go through the list of orders that you want to do, and you can claim that order, and they will add it to whatever scheduled dash you have. So since they're linking it to scheduled dashes, I'm guessing you have to schedule a dash in order to have a scheduled order to work or to claim. I really don't, schedule dashes or anything, so I honestly don't think I will experience this. But I'm also curious on who is included in this. And I'm not basically talking about, the new releases, how they put out something, but it's only limited to a certain amount of people to test it out. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm curious on if there's an exclusion where, how the whole thing with Top Dasher. I'm curious on if you're able to pick up scheduled orders if you're a Top Dasher or if you meet a certain criteria. So if you guys know more on that, let me know down in the comments and inform me, because I truly want to know. All right, so the next thing is delivery zone. So the newest thing that I have noticed is whether you schedule a dash in a certain zone or actually dash now in a certain zone, if you drop off a delivery outside of that zone, you're less likely to receive orders outside of that zone. And DoorDash now shows you that, hey, you're out of your zone. Now the way I'm used to is, yes, you start in a certain zone, like you're able to dash now in a certain zone, but if DoorDash gives you an order that the drop off is outside of your zone, you're still able to get orders in that new zone. There may be times where orders is offered to you back into your zone, which will be great if you looking for something to take you back to your zone. But I personally like the fact that in a way that kind of resembles Uber Eats in a way. Like I'm able to dash wherever I'm at, wherever I end up at, I'm getting orders over here. When I first saw this update, I was honestly scared and really upset, because I was under the impression where if you're out of that zone, you're not getting anything. It's basically like as if you're offline or something. But today I was multi-apping with DoorDash and Uber Eats when I was finally able to do DoorDash. I was multi-apping with DoorDash and Uber Eats, and I had an Uber Eats order, but I was like, I'm not going to pause my dash because I'm outside of my zone anyway, so it's basically like a pause button to me. So when I get close to that, I'm trying to make it back close to my delivery zone. But while I was outside of my zone, my delivery zone, I was actually starting to receive orders. To me, it honestly didn't feel any different that I was outside of my zone, because the speed or the type of orders that I was receiving honestly felt like the normal type of orders I was receiving while I was in my zone. I would say in comparison, if you go by the minute, I would say if you're in your zone, you probably receive orders a minute later. If you're outside of your zone, you might receive orders 2 or 3 minutes later, but it's not cutting you off from getting orders at all. That was just, my one day experience with that. I do want to, continue testing it out, because I don't know if it's a possibility that even though I was outside of my zone, I was still kind of close to a hotspot. So maybe that was a factor on why I was even receiving an order in the first place. I could be totally wrong about this whole thing. And if you're out of your zone, you're not getting nothing. So I don't know. It's still a trial run for me, but we shall see. Now, speaking of hotspots, the new update that I've seen is the actual hotspots, how they're laid out now. The old way that I was seeing the hotspots was it would just be, a little circle with a flame inside of it at this certain location, and you're able to navigate to that area or something like that. Well, now it has updated to where even it still shows that little circle, but it shows you like a hexagon of a shape, of showing you like you don't need to actually be at that little circle. Like as long as you're so far, if you're in this little red area, then you're in the hotspot or something like that. Of course, I might be explaining it wrong, but I'm making sure that I leave this picture up there so you're getting the vision of what I'm saying. Now that kind of, reminds me of Uber Eats, and I actually like that. I don't have to feel like I have to be at this circle, in this small little circle, in order to be considered at the hotspot. Like there has been times where the hotspot that I've gone to is literally like located in the middle of the street, but I have to go and park at the in a parking lot or something, because I can't just sit in the street at the hotspot. So that's actually good. So in that case, the hotspot will be still the parking lot that I decide to go and sit in. So I do like that little updates. All right, one more update that I have noticed is like on the screen where after you're, confirm that you're at the location, and it's showing you the customer's name, but literally right under the customer's name it shows a message that say show order to merchant. So when you literally click on that, it literally just brings up, the customer's name and all of the items that they have ordered. So that makes it a lot easier for those cases where the restaurant, for whatever reason, don't have the order and they want to hurry up and make it for you. So, you're able to show them exactly what the customer wants without, struggling to find, okay, they want this and this and this. It don't show them everything that we're the ones who have to look at. So I like that there's a, button specifically designated for showing your phone to the merchant. So let me know what you guys, think about these new updates. Let me know if there's actually more updates that I have actually missed, because I do want to be on the lookout for those so I could get the feel of everything. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.